Yeah, wherever.
You guys ain't hungry?
Starving.
Got power through. This is day 2. Me ain't fast, no food.
Proud of you.
Water, yeah.
Ramadan?
That's good.
No,
Just kidding.
no.
Mind if I sit here? Sit next to you?
Yep. Good.
Fasting, why? Health benefits?
Health, spiritual, you know.
I love that.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, dude, it
Feels good, doesn't it?
Feels good.
How, you going 72?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Usually I go like 72 once a month at least.
Yeah. Man, when you hit that, for me, it's like dinner time first day, like I want to eat my hand, but like lunchtime this day 2, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And then I get that high.
Yeah.
Like I feel that euphoria.
Do you, well, I work out on my fast too. You know, I work out and like, man, I just feel lighter. You know, and then, you know, that's where I get the high. You know? And it's like, man, everything becomes clear. My senses are stronger. You know, my thought process is better.
Yep.
You know, but then I get those little, where like, man, I need to do something because I'm feeling better.
A little sluggish, a little tired.
That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. Could just murder an iced honey bun right now.
Oh, man. Heat it up. With
Heat
some
it
fried
up.
sausage on it.
Apple farmer sausage too.
Yeah.
little sweet and
So
savory.
you fry it with some butter, you get the sausage, slice it up, fry the sausage up, you know what I'm saying? Some squeeze, melt the cheese on top of that, you know, so it's like a little McGriddle.
Oh man.
Fat boy stuff, bro.
Wow.
That's on the cheat day. That's on the cheat day.
Wow, I would put money on your books to make one of them for me. Jeez Louise. Let's start fun. What are some fun prison spreads you make?
Oh, for me personally? Okay, well, my signature spread that I created was just jailhouse or prison house enchiladas.
Okay.
You know, just roll the tortillas, the meat, the rice.
Give them the process. Tell them about it. How many? What kind of meat?
Well, it depends on the meat of your choice, you know. Usually I go with beef, you know, or chilorio, you know. And then, but the special thing on that is the sauce. I make a sauce with cheese and peanut butter with like some chili in it. You know, it's like a sweet, like hot, you know, spicy sauce. Yeah. So you pour that on top, and then you pour the beans on top, and then you put some lettuce, you know, cream cheese, ranch, some crushed up hot Cheetos. Yeah.
Sheesh.
That's pretty fire.
Y'all are eating well.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes, sir.
It's good times. How long you been down?
Right now, it's going to be 6 years in September. 9/11.
9/11.
Yeah, 9/11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. You're from San Diego.
Right.
Born and raised?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And life growing up, pretty simple, pretty easy? Because that's what people associate it with.
I mean, yeah, it was cool. I mean, but it wasn't normal.
How come?
Well, at the time, I didn't know it.
Yep.
It seemed normal to me, but looking back at it, it wasn't normal because, like I said, father was in the house. My mom took the role, mom and dad. She had seasons of not being home at all, so I'd be with the grandparents, you know, on the ranch or at my other nana's house. And then when I did live with mom, you know, a lot of in and out drugs, you know.
With mom or with you or both?
No, at house with mom.
Okay.
You know, and so the partying, the drug scene, and it just seemed normal to me.
Got you.
But it turned out that, man, it really messed me up.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you see the drugs early? Did you partake in them?
Yeah. I had my first beer at 5, right? Not to like drink to get drunk, but like, here, you're thirsty, here, drink this. So like, you know, now I'm desensitized to like,
wow.
to alcohol, so it's like, it's nothing, right? So it's just a normal thing. And then smoking weed, probably 12, and then crystal, I think I tried it at probably 14.
Crystal meth.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying, it wasn't normal. So back then it was like, I get high, party, drink, but looking at it now, I could never imagine one of my 14 or 15-year-old sons doing crystal, bro. Like, it just blows my mind, you know?
Do you have kids?
Yeah, I had 4 sons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Ages?
We got Apollo, who's about to turn 12. Matthias, about to turn 13. My son Roman just turned 15, and then my son Zachariah. He's already an adult.
Wow. Wow. Are they all down south?
Yeah, they're all down south.
Okay.
Reservation.
How are they doing?
They're doing good. You know, they're still, my wife, she's still maintaining, keeping them in sports and trying the best she can to, you know, play the father figure as well. Keep them in school and make sure they're getting all their tutoring and stuff.
Are you able to have the family visits?
Not yet, but yeah, I will be. I'll be eligible. Yeah.
Okay. Is that just a time period? Like when you'll be eligible?
Yeah, so we're just waiting on the application to get approved.
Got you.
Right.
That'll be huge.
Yeah,
Huge.
for sure. Yeah, I actually had my first visit with my sons probably a month ago, yeah. So
Wow.
I haven't seen them in 6
6
years.
years.
Yeah, and I was able to hug my sons, and they're all grown up now. It was a pretty
Emotional.
emotional experience, especially afterward. At first, it was cool, like, "What's up, my boy?"
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I was like, "Dang, man."
Then they leave, huh?
Yeah.
I know. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I walked into the prison and my son was 5 months.
Wow.
Baby carrier. Yep, crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. What's your advice to them? Wouldn't you see them when you talk to them when they come and visit?
Well, when they came to visit, and when I do talk to them, I always drive it into them, like, to make sure that you pay attention in school, and watch the influences that are around you, especially on social media, especially with with your friends. They might think it's cool, and it might be cool, but you want to watch what you let certain things into your life, into your mind. Just a lot of things could happen by just looking at stuff on your phone.
It's the part that spooks me. We have a boy. He's 13. He'll be 14 this summer, and I constantly tell him about, how when you pull up to a stop sign and you're going to turn right, like right on red, and there's traffic coming this direction.
Yeah.
I always have the conversation with him, like, you can't trust that guy with the blinker on. You can't trust that he's going to turn this way when you pull out, that he's not going to keep going and hit you.
Yeah.
So I use that analogy a lot with him, because you're going to get yourself into somebody's Bronco. The next thing you know, it's OJ on the 405. Like, you put yourself in situations, and now all of a sudden, so-and-so had dope, so-and-so, shot a paintball, and someone shot you back with a real bullet.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff is real in today's world, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Consequences.
And in today's world as well, like my sons, they're very active in sports, and they have good personalities, and they just be themselves, and the comments they make to kids, you know what I'm saying? My son made a comment to a kid, right? He called him, he said, "Oh man, you're gay," and just playing around, you're stupid, or and so it turned into some big old thing, so it's just like, man, I try to just warn my kids, you gotta watch how you talk to people, watch what you say,
Watch what you text.
Yes.
To all the, never mind. Yeah. It's incredible, man. So you're giving them that advice still from here.
Yeah, that plenty of, just that I love them, and that I want them to really start thinking about their future now.
Yeah.
I say, "What do you want to be?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know." Okay, well, you need to start thinking about it. I'm like, you're either, because as my son, you're either going to go to the military, you're going to go to college, and play sports, or you're going to go to a trade school.
Good advice.
That's.
Did you go military?
No, I was going to, but I caught my first adult record. First case as an adult. Yeah, I was supposed to go to the Marines.
Wow.
Yeah.
What age?
I was 18. I was 18. I already had a recruiter.
Jeez.
And
what was the charge?
Evading police, stolen vehicle. Yeah.
Why'd you steal it? Money?
I had a job.
Weird.
Yes, all my charges. I look back at my record of every single one is behind me. It's behind my addiction.
There you go.
Which is rooted from my childhood.
Yeah.
Were
Were you stuck on that crystal meth, or did you evolve?
Pretty much every crime, yes, except for one of them. I was drunk. I was drunk and on meth, but yeah.
Bro, as big as you are on meth, that is insane.
You see me in the gym on meth.
Right. Holy cow. No, but most people, you see most of them, they're just usually haven't slept in 6 days, and they weigh 90 pounds. And they're just emaciated.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. I would, from the outside looking in, I would peg you all day long for being in here for violent crimes. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Do you get that a lot, or do people not really talk about it with you?
As far as the intimidating factor, yeah. I do, but that's not really who I am.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so it always goes rooted to the addiction.
Yeah.
Rooted to the addiction.
Yes.
Interesting.
And for the first time in my life, I got 6 years clean and sober coming up on July 19th. Yes.
Really?
July 19th, 2019 was my first day clean and sober.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
It's got to feel amazing.
Oh, it feels really good. Yeah.
And in 6 years, now we're talking about 72-hour fasts.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's something I've been implementing since the start of this case, because I'm a believer, and a Bible believer. I believe in Jesus Christ. So And I've always believed in God, but then when I was fighting this case, and fighting for my life because it was a life case.
Really?
Like I'm like, yeah, and it's during COVID. It was during COVID, so like I'm sitting in a cell, and everywhere in the world, hospitals, jails, like you have a Bible, and I'm just like, man, I want to know what I believe, right? And so I started getting to that, and that's what kind of got me to start fasting, But then once I started seeing the benefits in it, health-wise too, and spiritual-wise, like, man, it's good all the way around.
Wow. So you've been fasting once a month like this since you caught this case?
For 4 years, yeah. But I go 21 days at the beginning of every year.
Wow.
Yeah. But 2 weeks of that is partial, so it's called a Daniel fast, just fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
The first week is just no food. Yeah.
Walk me through the 21 days. First week is no food.
4 days, absolute zero, zip, right?
Okay.
And then the 5th day, or actually the 4th day, that night I'm drinking water, right? I've done it with coffee too, water and coffee, boom, and then that's for the next 3 days, so that's a week.
Mm-hmm.
And the next 2 weeks, I'll just eat fruits, nuts, and vegetables. Yeah.
Wow. You feel fantastic?
Oh, I feel great, yeah.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
And especially when I'm working out too, like I'm working out with young kids. I'm 38 years old. I'll work out with kids that are in their 20s or guys that are cut up, ripped up, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just running through them.
Love it. Yeah. I love it. So that was a life case?
It was, yes. I ended up getting 17 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
But not life.
Not life.
Praise God.
And praise God. I prayed and I fasted on that because for 4 years they weren't talking about giving me no deal. And it took me a couple years to even come to terms that, like, because at first I'm like, well, I didn't do that. Like, no, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. But then I was like, okay, maybe I did. I see my part. And I was like, I started praying for, like, specifically, God, just give me a deal. Just give me a deal if I can go home with my family. So I got that, and man, I praise God. I remember I was in the cell by myself, and because it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
How do you're 17 years, how does it work from a sentence perspective? Is 17 flat? Do you do 85% time? Is it based on good record?
Well, this is it breaks down to this. It's a 6-year midterm, doubled up to 12, and I got a 5-year nickel prior. So as of right now, I'm trying to...
so this is your midterm?
Huh?
So this is your midterm?
Yes, it got doubled up because of the strike, all right? But I got a 5-year nickel prior for my case in 2010 when I was 23.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to get that out of the way because I got to go to the feds after this as well.
Got it.
I got to go to the feds after this. That's how I'm trying to get this nickel prior off so it evens out.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long in the feds?
48 months.
Okay. Yeah. Which is, you probably do what, half-time there?
Well, there I already got 9 months credit. So
okay.
I go there.
Is that for the drug program?
And then I do the drug program, and I'll be able
that's
to get out at the halfway house. So
yeah, okay.
That's pretty much getting out,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But that's why I'm trying to do this college, get my degrees, get some time off with that, and the dog program. Everything I can to.
Everything.
I'm very busy. Yeah.
Good. What are you busy with? Tell the world. Day to day.
Well, first I wake up and I worship God by studying the Word, get into the Spirit. And then I embrace the day with just positivity. I go to a drug class, and then of course I spend time with the dogs, and I just try to stay focused on my academic work right now, and that's pretty much what it is for me. And stay in touch with family. Yeah.
How do you primarily emails or phone calls?
Phone calls, video visits, periodically. Not all the time.
Yeah. So you're busy. It's best for you.
Busy. Yeah.
Best for you.
Yeah.
And your wife's still around?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Man, what do you see for life outside of here? I know we talked at the round table a little bit, but do you visualize that yet?
Yeah, I do. And it's going to be business, orientated, but like not just for profit. I'm leaning more towards nonprofit, helping people out with, just enjoying enjoying life even through adversity, and helping people to wake up spiritually, and that could be through the fitness I was talking about, and even if I started a construction company, just helping people that are getting out of prison that don't have experience or are intimidated with even getting a job. Hey, I know how it is to be that guy. Come work for me, boom, and I'll show you how to do it.
Yep.
So, and then with the dogs too as well. That's a therapeutic approach to rehabilitation and recovery.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it. What questions do you have for me?
What's your favorite food?
Man, depends on the day. Oh man, right?
Like if you're gonna go eat right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You can pick anywhere. Like if the food's gonna be here right now.
You know what? To be honest, it'd probably just be like a couple pieces, like slices of New York pizza.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like In-N-Out. Double. You know what I'm saying?
4x4.
4x4, yeah.
4x4.
Well, I always get 2 double-doubles.
4x2.
Yeah.
That's my go-to too. 2 double-doubles.
2 double-doubles?
2 double-doubles, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But if I'm driving,
No fries.
yes, for sure.
What if I'm driving?
I just got to see the whole thing right there, yeah.
You said no fries?
No fries.
Oh yeah, that's too much. That's too much.
Oh, wait.
But In-N-Out for you?
Huh?
In-N-Out.
Yeah, In-N-Out, for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
Another question. How long have you got clean and sober?
I've never done a drug a day in my life.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Never. So my pop's long time criminal mastermind, and eventually got addicted to heroin. And so I was maybe 8th grade, and he came in my room, and I was sitting on the floor reading, and he puts his arms out, and the holes, and he was like, "I put $100,000 into my arm this year." That's how he started the conversation, and that was like his version of "don't do this." He didn't really have any sort of role models at all. His dad blew his head off when he was like 12. So that whole thing was a circus and a half, very public, the whole nine. Who did it? Who didn't do it? And so my dad grew up like very militant.
Right.
And so I would drive around with him. I was the only boy that he really was proud of, I guess you could say.
So you have siblings?
All girls.
Oh, okay.
And so it was more of like a pride thing than it was a fatherhood thing. And so when we would drive around, it was always like organized crime. So like, this was the payphone eras.
Right.
And so he'd pull up, I'd be in the front seat, like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, crazy, and he'd slide over a 357 in between my legs, and then he'd put the Louisville Slugger underneath, and he'd be like, "I'm going to go to the payphone if anything happens," and like left the car on. And it's interesting, still to this day, when I get out of my car, I leave it on. It's interesting. It's funny. My wife picks up on that. She's like, "I always leave the car on." I'm like, "I know."
Yeah.
It's funny, but I grew up that way. And so it was always him trying to be a father, but he didn't know how to be a father.
Right.
So he would give me life advice like this. He would say, "You're going to grow up, you're going to get a good job, you're going to marry a beautiful girl, you're going to move into a nice neighborhood, she's going to drive a minivan, a beautiful home, and your neighbor's going to hate you.
Yeah.
You're going to grow up, you're going to be a degenerate, you're going to put needles in your arms, you're going to move into a trailer park, you're going to marry Methany, and your neighbor's going to hate you. Just be the first guy."
Well, I can relate to the part where he didn't know how to be a dad.
Not at all, man.
And so, like, me too, like, I didn't know how to be a dad. At first, I had to learn as I went, because I didn't have a dad, But I'm still learning how to be a dad, especially an incarcerated one now.
Sure.
But I had one more question for you. What drives you to do what you do now?
I always get that question. It's funny.
Okay, then another question then.
No, keep going.
No, go ahead.
So when I was locked up, I realized that a lot of the opportunities that inmates had were few and far between. And so I have a background in financial literacy and business, and so I started teaching, and it was therapy for me. Just like the dog program is for you, the Small Business Development Center was for me. I left the yard Monday through Friday, 8 hours a day. and a very minimum yard. And got off the yard, taught at the Cochise Community College for 4 different yards that met there, and Business 101. So they would start to just throw all the questions at me, and it was therapy. It was therapy. How do I start a business? What does EIN mean? All the prison business manuals, if you will. Like, hey man, you can get out and get $64,000 for the time that you were incarcerated. Like all the things that you've heard, all the lies and the myths. I was just dispelling them because I really wanted guys to win and succeed.
Right.
And so I felt that so much of their information was misguided or incorrect. So they would come to me and say, how do I start this? How do I start that? What's the process? What's the foundation? And so instead of going out and saying, hey, I'm going to go to LegalZoom, I'm going to pay $1,200 to set up a company, I'd be like, man, you could do it for $65 online. And I would write it out. Here's how it is. So then the Small Business Development Center guys took notice, and so then they started giving me resources. They'd come in with a computer, and then I'd be able to print off EIN forms, SS4 forms, LLC paperwork, operating agreements, and really like help these guys craft a business. And I knew that a lot of them wanted to be entrepreneurs. They were just messed up in the wrong stuff. No guidance like you, no guidance like me. I was just fortunate, and so it was therapeutic to be able to do that while I was incarcerated. And then now when I come back now because I like to share the stories. These types of stories, you're gonna resonate with somebody who's incarcerated and a father with 4 sons and doesn't know how to be a dad. You guys are gonna share that commonality. He, much like you at some point, felt alone. Nobody's from San Diego. Nobody's, 6'2", 260. Nobody's got 4 sons. You start to be like, woe is me, because I don't hear my own story.
Right.
I drove around when I got indicted. I drove around the city just like crying, like, man, of all of the shit that I could have done, like this non-violent, non-dangerous, non-repetitive, not like nothing burger. Yeah. This, and you've probably been there at certain points, like, this is what I got popped for. So,
oh yeah,
right? Like, man, if you could have, but so for me, I come back because it's still therapeutic. Okay. And so I'm very fortunate. Brandon and I are very fortunate. And I think that this is part of giving back to the world. How do I tell the stories from this side of the fence to allow you a space to open up, to allow somebody on the other side of that lens to feel your story? And at the same time, how do I come back and pour into you to give you the information that you actually need to succeed? The puppy programs are fantastic. The Tony Robbins that you guys watch is fantastic. But when you get out and the rubber meets the road, it's scary. Because I still face it to this day. And so, Brandon and I are partners on several things. And he'll tell you, my felony is still a roadblock to this day. And it still beats me down every year. And so it's hard to stay ahead of that. It's hard, even when it's a nothing burger, it still is a check on the box. It exists.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like you have to carry these burdens, and I've been able to, God willing, carry those burdens with people and walk through. Even though I've never done drugs, I can walk you through what it's like to be addicted. I can walk you through what it's like. The reason that you probably were addicted was because there was never any baseline level of self-worth back in the day. Nobody poured into you at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, your formative years, exactly. Which is why you now sit here and go, I don't know how to be a dad. Well, how would you? You've never been a vegan before either, so I don't know. You follow? So we use these phrases in society that are based in storytelling. I don't know how to be a dad. Well, I know, because you never had a dad, but nobody ever is able to wake up and say, you know what? I'm going to go to my kids and I'm going to tell them I'm doing the best I can with the resources I've got. And I've never had a 16-year-old. Like my wife and I, we've never had a 16-year-old boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like all of a sudden you're supposed to have all the answers. You're supposed to know everything. Yeah. And I think a little bit of social media has created this big filter lie that we have all the answers and the dishes are always clean in the sink and the husband and wife don't disagree.
Yeah, they don't show you all the real life,
Man, the trenches? But we love the trenches. If you really want to talk about the water coolers of America, it's always the comeback story. Man, Green Bay down by 40. Brady in the fourth quarter comes back with 3 touchdowns. Nobody ever is like, man, Golden State by 134 points, saw that coming. Nobody says that, but it's like, man, Game 7, NBA Finals, this is the storyline, that so-and-so's dad's in the building. That's what we talk about. It's the comeback story. But if you go back biblically, because you've mentioned this several times, it's the same Bible stories. We just love to romanticize them. I have this conversation with a lot of people. We go to church, we're religious, and I think that the upper middle class white people of America love to romanticize Bible stories. And I'll give you an example. If David and Goliath, was in Fresno, like, David's like, I'll kill him. Yeah, just give me the gun, I'll kill him.
Yeah.
And people are like, let's make David guns. Like, you have to take it in today's real world context. Mm-hmm. And they were like, why are we giving David guns? He's crazy. Well, he's going to go kill Goliath. And we're all okay with it. You'll sleep better tonight. Mm-hmm. Like, we romanticize these things. And then there was a slingshot, and it was a perfect stone right between the eyes. Like, you follow?
Yeah.
Like, we romanticize it. But when you really get into, like, the disciples were gangsters.
Yes.
Jesus flipped tables. Like, the dude I talk to gets me, understands me, right?
Yes.
So I'll take it a step further for you because you told me to. Now, this is your fault, by the way. Talk about Jesus, right? In theory, we are to come back resurrected, perfect. You would agree?
That's what the Bible says.
That's what we've been told.
Right.
I would agree with you. Jesus came back with scars. It's curious.
Okay.
People saw him die. People go, can't be that guy. I saw him dead, right? And what does he do? Come feel me. Come touch me.
He shows it.
100%.
Yes.
So if the guy that Christians subscribe to be like every day found his authentic tribe by showing his scars, why do we show up to church perfect?
Like that. Like that. Yeah.
So I love the idea of following a guy like Jesus. I think that a lot of us, with our Nest thermostats and our $5,000 dogs and our Cadillac Escalades, have really bastardized church.
And I was just talking about that earlier with the fella, as far as who Jesus was in the Bible. Like a lot of, there's like, when for people in prison as well, oh, he's a Christian, or he believes, he goes to church, like they look down, they look at it as weakness, right?
Oh, wow.
They look at Jesus as a weak person, right?
Dude was a savage.
He knew when he was going to die. He
Focused.
knew how he was going to die. And familiarity breeds complacency. So you hear it all the time, he died for your sins. No, he didn't just die. He got tortured. He got beat.
Publicly.
Right? And then he had to carry something up a mountain, wherever it was at. And then get stretched out like he died. He got beaten, tortured, and he willingly went there. You know, when they said they were looking for Jesus, he said, "It's me. It was I. You were looking for." You know, and if I was put in a position to land, it's just like, wow, I know that I'm gonna get beat, tortured. Like
he knew it.
That dude was with the business.
100%.
Yes.
So it's an interesting. I enjoy going deep with a lot of people because I'm not. I'm an individual who has a firm relationship, and I'm not somebody who is a fair weather fan. You know, I enjoy the comeback stories. I enjoy the biblical stories, but I look at them and I try to put them in today's context. And if you had, in general, you know, the disciples of yore, those guys were rough.
Yep.
Those guys were rough. You know, I mean, you're cutting off people's ears, like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so how do we take it in today's context? So and so comes up, you know, he disrespects my leader. Like I stab him in the spleen. You follow? Like it's a very interesting juxtaposition for me to bring like the actual Christianity into today's world, which I love to do, because we can romanticize 2,000 years ago. We love like Hallmark Channel in December. You know, it's Christmas movie time. It makes you feel good.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if it were in today's world, man, a lot of these people would be looked down upon. A lot of these people. I mean, you talk about Paul, you talk about Saul. You talk about the road to Damascus. You talk about changing people's demeanor. I mean, a lot of these people were rough.
Yes, they were
rough. So, but I also agree that in this, the Jesus, according to Travis, what do I know? But I also agree that he set that up as a precedence because the whole goal of his life was to tell us that we didn't have to be perfect in order to be like him. I think that's the difference of today. We show up for 120 minutes at church today. Everybody's perfect. My family included, don't get me wrong. If you saw my wife and my kids, like, I mean, I should be a Hallmark movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm as guilty of it as anybody else. I don't want to, pretend like I'm innocent over here. But we typically show up. We've washed the car. We've washed the hair.
Yeah.
We've washed the dog. Right?
Yeah.
Instead of showing up and being like, what can I do for my neighbor? What can I do? Did I actually help somebody out on the way here? If there was somebody stranded, would I pull over? Would I be late for church? What, you know what I mean? You start running through that dialogue, you go down a rabbit hole. So I think a lot of us, from a church perspective, have a lot to learn. And I joke all the time, and I go, I think Jesus is looking down on a lot of churches like, man, y'all missed the mark today. So anyhow, my soapbox.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure, brother.
Hey, appreciate you.
Likewise, brother. If I can do anything, I'll holler at you.
Okay.
But let me know.
Yeah, because
You got a lot of potential.
I think the spiritual, eye you have is, aligned with how I see it too.
You got a lot of potential, man. A lot of potential. Keep diving into the stuff that you can do with the boys. Keep pushing them. Keep writing them. The more you can write to them and explain to them, like, this is why you should do something, not just like this is what you should do, but like, this is what I wish I would have had at your age. This is what I would have felt at your age. This is what I would be looking at your age. This is what, like.
Well, look at when I was for the military. I'm like, look, you can get trained, you get to travel the world, right?
It's not a bad gig.
You're gonna have some benefits. For me, I didn't get to read a tape measure until I was probably like 26, bro. And that's like, wow, like, bro, 26, like, So like, I always try to like, encourage them to like, learn how to build, learn how to do things that to work with your hands, because I didn't have nobody to show that. I had to go out there and learn myself.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Good, man. Pour into them.
All right.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Brandon.
All right. Appreciate you.
All right, see you guys. Oh yeah.